Welcome to the Sleeping Barber podcast.
But it doesn't matter. Here we are again back for another edition of our Barber's Brief. How you doing?
Very exciting. I'm very excited, V, to be with you today.
There it is. I love it. If you're a new listener, we use this forum to discuss marketing and business news that's caught our eye in the last couple of weeks. We highlight our marketing moment. I'll finish off by highlighting also our ad of the week.
Ad of the week, ad of the week, ad of the week. I don't know why I love saying that.
It is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I have to admit that.
Again, I'm still struggling with this bronchitis / emphysema thing that I picked up.
I promise not to make you laugh.
I'm going to... It's too late.
There he goes.
Okay.
He's going on mute. That guy. That's okay.
You got
there
it.
He is.
You got it. Let's do this, V.
Let's go. Okay, I'm up. I got the first one. It's always fun when Google makes the news around like their Sandbox terms and services and whatnot. And it's interesting because there was this one article that was in the drum that kind of caught my eye that was titled, "The Sandbox Terms and Services May Be Onerous, Discriminatory, and One-Sided," according to an open web advocacy group. So, okay, right? So I'm like, ooh, interesting. Let's jump down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So the deprecation of third-party cookies on Google Chrome, which has been now delayed 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, is threatening to hamstring the advertising business in totality. So after 2 months of testing, an ad tech firm Criteo determined that Google's privacy sandbox, the company suite that is basically proposed as cookie alternatives, would erase publishers' ad revenues up to 60%. That poses a problem. Now, beyond the obvious threat of that reduced performance and revenues, the privacy sandbox is also raising alarms within the advertising community over its contractual risks, highlighting some of the things that the research found that suggest that Google's privacy sandbox is intended to enhance user privacy, might ironically violate privacy laws. Okay, that's not good. Second, the privacy concerns just around the terms and conditions of the privacy sandbox could lead to privacy infringements, despite its goal to actually protect the user data, which leads to legal implications. So the research highlights potential legal challenges Google might face due to these privacy concerns. So, are you a betting man?
A little bit. Sometimes I like to gamble.
What is the chances this actually gets delayed even further?
I would say
2025.
I would put it at around 100%.
I mean, it's just...
I'm no guru with this kind of stuff. Yeah. But
I don't know. Did this catch you by surprise at all?
It's funny, like it to me, it's a really funny one because it just seems to me like they're trying to stack the chips in their favor as much as they possibly can. And being a market leader, they can do that, but they're running into legal implications with the way they want to run the world.
Yeah. It's really interesting. And it's like, again, I obviously I stay close to this just by nature of what I do from a day-to-day perspective. But it just, again, laws are only going to get more strict.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen. Privacy is going to become even more important.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think that we're still struggling in this era to get it right now, then at what point do you just like pull the plug on it and just say, well, we got to find something else to work here, because clearly something's not sitting right.
And like that first statement you had, or one of the first statements you had about how it would erase ad publishers' revenues by 60%. So that's more like the
attributable revenue.
Yeah, from other retail media sites and things like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy the influence that Google has.
That's true too. What did you find?
Well, speaking of influence, Amazon Prime Day is upon us.
That's
Prime
right.
Days. Yeah. Big deals. Check them out. Depending on, we're recording this on the 16th. So it's a little,
that's right.
By the time we publish it, don't go looking for it. But
Deals are gone now. Sorry.
yeah, there's a really cool story about just the business of this event. And so Amazon invented this holiday in 2015, kind of as a way to like boost sales in the summer, you know, as
100%.
a complement to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They've now expanded Prime Days to be twice a year. In 2015, they got 40 million people to sign up for a Prime subscription.
That's insane.
Which is crazy.
That is insane.
It's a big number. They're currently sitting around, and I don't know if they ever released these numbers or not, but the article that I saw said they were sitting around 180 million Prime subscribers in the United States. So almost half of the US population.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so this was one of the things that propelled them to profit. And in 2015, they sold $900 million with Amazon Prime, or the Prime Days. Sorry. Last year, that number grew a little bit over a 48-hour period. So no longer just a single day, but over a 48-hour period to $12.7 billion.
I can't even. I can't
It's
even.
Wild. Yeah, and the other part that's kind of interesting is now there's all these competitors that have fallen suit, like Walmart, Target, and Temu. And more, like there's the article went on and was getting into some of the details around how these other companies are starting to chip away at Amazon Prime. So, you know, we've talked a lot about first mover advantage. We've talked a lot about loyalty in various ways. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I think this is an interesting story, but you know, a lot of these other organizations are starting to chip away at the profitability or I guess the total revenue of Amazon Prime because they're also competing against it. And so that idea of around differentiation versus distinctiveness and, you know, all that stuff kind of plays a role in this. And as Amazon has grown, they've, you know, added more deals, added more partners, added more inventory to all this. So it's kind of an interesting story that we mostly just see from a consumer point of view. But from a business point of view and a strategy point of view, it's kind of cool.
You're right. And even if you think of like smaller retailers that also pick on the word Prime in some capacity to kind of highlight that, hey, we're on sale, like even some of our local retailers as well. So they've made it a thing. Yes, were they a first mover? 100%. Now there's two of them in a year. I think it's just, again, it's training consumers to wait a little bit. I've been in the market for a few things actually. And I'm like, well, I know it's just around the corner. I have Prime already. I'm just going to wait. I don't need to, you know, buy before.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's just the retail crack, right?
Yeah. All right. What do you got, V?
Well, Amazon's back in the news for their AI shopping assistant, Rufus.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to use it for Prime Days.
Oh, good question. I have no idea. But it's live for all US customers. So I picked this up from Search Engine Land. And basically, Amazon has launched its AI shopping assistant, also known as Rufus, nationwide for all US customers, aiming to enhance e-commerce with personalized product recommendations and shopping insights. Now, there's kind of like three things that kind of stood out to me. Functionality. So basically, utilize a large language model trained on Amazon's product data and customer reviews, provides product recommendations, comparisons, and shopping advice based on customer queries, and offers updates on fashion trends and technological advancements. Just like, I don't know what, I think of Rufus and I think of a dog.
Yeah, totally.
It's just my dog's making recommendations on like fashion. I'm like, okay, cool. Anyways, the impact, obviously, it transforms how consumers engage with e-commerce platforms, influencing their purchasing decisions. It could also alter advertising strategies on Amazon by influencing customer behavior through personalized recommendations. Now, there's going to be some challenges. So you think about like early tests reveal that occasional inaccuracies in the information and limitations in the recommendation scope, even within Amazon's catalog. But obviously, like anything else, Amazon's going to continue to invest money in this, continue to improve it and enhance it over time to become that shopping assistant that I guess everyone's looking for.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because the impact part where you're talking about how it transforms how they shop. I mean, haven't we all been using this like AI recommendation engine forever anyway?
It feels like
Like
it.
you might also like,
That's right.
you know,
Forgot in your cart.
yeah. It's interesting though. Like yeah, AI is everywhere. It's just,
It is everywhere.
yeah, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
I almost purposely tried to not find an AI story, but like,
Yeah.
you just cannot avoid it.
You know, it's crazy. Like it literally is almost every single story.
Exactly. All right, last one. What'd you get?
Well, this one might have AI in it at some point, but McDonald's loyalty scheme will enable even smarter pricing. So I found this story in Marketing Week. There's this back in February that this was published, but just kind of an interesting story. So the CEO was on an investor call in February and was talking about how maintaining a balance is really important for them, and of two North Star metrics for the business. So one is footfall growth and the other one is pricing growth.
Okay.
So in 2023, sales to loyalty members were over $20 billion. There's some weird math in this. Like I looked up, this is the reference point in the article. When I was looking up the actual revenues, it was around $25 billion. I'm not 100% sure whether maybe it's a conversion thing.
Okay.
Anyway, there's 150 million loyalty members globally.
Wow.
And they're targeting 250 million loyalty members by 2027.
Okay.
And so the goal is getting smarter with pricing methodology and tailoring digital offers to fans, optimizing price while limiting customer resistance, which is something that was the line that the CEO had said, optimizing price while limiting customer resistance. That to me was interesting as a statement. In that it's not about loyalty, like getting more people to buy more things. Because the next statement was the single biggest opportunity for them was to acquire more new customers and build more valuable interactions with customers, like free prizes, special offers.
Right.
So to me, like, we hear about loyalty programs all the time. And, we've talked about loyalty a whole bunch on the show. And loyalty exists. It's just not the same thing that we think of necessarily, or the way it exists is a little bit different, like heavy category buyers. And so to me, there's a whole bunch in here that speaks to that, making things more available, which is limiting customer resistance, optimizing price, which is an interesting thing, price and price growth and footfall growth were those two North Stars. Some interesting numbers and stats and metrics I thought were part of that.
Well, I like the angle around like using, I guess, your loyalty program to help enable a better pricing strategy.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think I've thought of it that way, because you're just looking at repeat behavior, but helping it inform pricing actions. I mean, that's I think there's something there for sure. That's an interesting tidbit.
Yeah. You've got a marketing moment.
Yeah. Do you remember Converse?
Yeah. My kids wear them all the time.
Oh, are they back?
You know what we did with our kids? We made them watch Back to the Future. They hated it. But
that's too bad.
But it was from I think it was 1985, and Michael J. Fox was wearing
the Nikes,
black Converse. No, black Converse.
Yeah.
At the time. And so we're like, see, you guys are wearing the same things that people have worn for a long, long time. Anyway, they're not interested. But
well, I came across this case study. So it's for their Converse Create Now, Create Next campaign. Converse implemented a dynamic Instagram marketing strategy to boost engagement and brand visibility by leveraging user-generated content, influencer partnerships, and engaging visuals for their Create Now, Create Next campaign. So I guess for me, this isn't any different when you think about when you're really trying to engage with an audience, a specific audience. And the problem that they were really trying to solve for is, how do they engage a younger audience on social media and stand out from a very competitive market? Like if you think about footwear, you have so many players,
totally,
and it's very difficult to really kind of rise above.
Yeah.
So they wanted to engage with this younger audience. And did so by kind of leaning on Instagram and a lot of the social channels to do so. So I was trying to do some research and see like who was all involved. The only thing I could really find was just like their in-house team was involved. I'm sure they had an external agency that likely helped them in some capacity, guide us, as probably there was like a creative agency as well. But the way they decided to build this, so they kind of had 3 or 4 core pillars. The first was leaning on user-generated content. So it's like encouraging those followers that currently existed in their ecosystem to share photos using hashtags like Converse style, etc. The second pillar, if you will, was influencer partnerships. So collaborated with key influencers, celebrities to help reach a wider audience. And like they have some pretty A-list celebrities as well, like even athletes like Shy Granger. The basketball player plays for Oklahoma.
Got me. I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not
Shy Gorgeous.
LeBron James.
Alexander's his last name. But anyways, but it's you see like they push really the lifestyle. So you see all these influencers essentially kind of become part of this campaign. And then they're leaning into things like engaging visuals. So maintain those vibrant, dynamic feed with a mix of professional photos, user-generated content, and artistic graphics to kind of give it a just like new wave, new edge, if you will. But then they're also leaning on this notion of interactive campaigns. So they ran contests, interactive campaigns to help essentially boost engagement. Now, to kind of stitch it all together, they wanted to try to maintain a consistent brand voice. So across any creative that was in market, they maintained a casual, fun, and relatable tone across all posts, all platforms. So you, without a doubt, if you came and engaged with it, you knew it was Converse. Now, results-wise, there wasn't too much information here, unfortunately, but they did talk about they achieved higher engagement rate on Instagram than many other competitors, significantly increasing its brand visibility and follower growth. Now, I guess we all know what that's code word for maybe it didn't translate into sales, but maybe this wasn't about sales. Maybe this campaign was really just to kind of help build more affinity against that younger audience.
Yeah.
But for me, the key takeaway here, there's a few. So first of all, making sure you're consistently leveraging user-generated content, I think is always important by encouraging those that follow your organization, your company, to share their own content to help create that sense of community. Influencer partnerships, man, this is here to stay. I think you have to continue. You have to look at that as a viable option to help bring and build that affinity. And then something that is sometimes maybe not top of mind is just make sure you do have that consistent brand voice across all your touch points, just to maintain that level of parity that is always important.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm looking up Converse style just to see what I can find. But yeah, it's cool. It makes sense. And I'm with you on the influencer partnerships. I mean, user-generated content, user influencers, same, almost,
Totally.
I think that's one of the solutions to the content production supply chain problem that a lot of people have. I know we had that when we were working together. And that was a good way, simple way of generating more content through partnerships and UGC. Yeah. Cool story.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Out of the week for me.
Out of the week.
So it was recently Stampede.
It was
here in Calgary. For anyone who doesn't know what Stampede, Yahoo. I don't know, that sounds so weird, like German or something. Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Anyway, for anyone who doesn't know what Stampede is, it's like Mardi Gras meets a rodeo.
That's the best
kind of thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Cows and cowboys and horses.
Yeah. And it takes over the city. It's called the greatest outdoor show on earth. Which it is. Yeah. And there's been a long history of Calgary Stampede posters. And a lot of times they're like hand painted, and it's when they reveal it, it's kind of this thing. And so they've kind of got this nostalgic kind of look and feel to them. So of like days gone by in the Wild West. So McDonald's and Cossette had done 3 hand-painted murals in that tradition of the Calgary Stampede posters, the kind of tip of the cap to the Canadian agriculture industry. And then rather than showcasing cowboys riding off into the sunset, they did cowboys at the golden hour riding off into like the golden arches.
McDonald's.
Yeah. So it's cool. And then
it's really creative, actually.
Yeah, it's really creative. And they paired these ads with 100% Canadian beef messaging ads, and then Return of the Western Quarter Pounder, Western Barbecue Quarter Pounder. So anyway, just kind of like a fun nod to the Calgary Stampede and localized messaging that it fit in perfectly well with the Canadian landscape and, well, the Calgary landscape over the last few weeks.
It's like just looking at the images, and we'll put them up in the video so people can overlay. So you'll see them as overlaid. But it is, they're great. They definitely feel Stampede. They definitely feel as a part of it. And I think it's a really interesting take on the notion of like a localized marketing activity to help build, more of that affinity.
Mm-hmm.
So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
What do we got coming up next week, V?
Well, Amina Mattern actually was in our studio, our virtual studio. I just love saying that. We don't have a studio.
We got our basement.
Anyways, Amina's industry lead at LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, kind of focusing on financial services and fine tech. And we tackled a very, very crucial topic in the ever-evolving digital landscape, and it's really ethics in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Really great conversation.
Yeah,
very, I think, top of mind, especially for many of us in the industry right now. And I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
Yeah, she was really great, and for sure, one of those conversations that there's no easy answers to that one.
No.
Yeah. Like ethics, check.
Yeah,
exactly. Not that kind of a simple button. But yeah,
and it's really a lot deeper than everyone thinks. Like totally. It's not just what does your ad say? Are you using the right tone? It goes deeper and
way deeper, yeah.
And we get into it with Amina, and it was it was a great combo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well that was good. Thanks for that, V.
No problem, my friend.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna jump on my horse and ride into profitability now. How about you?
Oh, I'm gonna go. I've been doing a lot of lassoing training. So I'm going to try and rope me some profit.
Attaboy. I love it.
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a great day.
Ciao.
Bye.